Hi, everyone. I hope you are happy and healthy. This week, we are learning about how to classify types of triangles. So you'll remember that last week we learned about angles. So triangles are a three-sided shape. We are the most familiar with a right triangle. Okay, so a right triangle has one right angle. You can classify triangles by their angles, which we're very used to, or you can classify triangles by the length of their sides. So remember when we learned Pythagorean theorem, we were talking about how long the hypotenuse was. You're trying to find the unknown side, maybe the rise or the run. So when we talk about angles, remember that angles that are smaller than 90 are called acute. And some triangles have all three angles that are acute. Now, when all of the sides happen to be equal, right? You can tell they're all equal. That's called an equal angular triangle. It's also called equilateral because all the sides are equal and all the angles are equal. So we know a right triangle has one 90-degree angle, and an obtuse triangle has one obtuse angle. You remember obtuse means kind of like obese. So it means one of the angles is going to be this one right here. Let's see if I can write on that. Yeah, this one right here is obtuse. Okay. All right. So there's two other types of triangles that are sort of special, and that is something called an isosceles triangle, where you have these two angles that are at equal length. Now, in this situation, the angles that are opposite of the equal sides are also equal to one another. So this angle would be equal to this angle. These little marks mean equivalent. Okay. Now, scalene means that all three sides, the lengths, if you measure them, they're all different. So this looks like it's the smallest, and then you have this side and this side, which are all different, right? Side 1, 2, and 3 are different lengths if I were to measure them. Okay, so we're going to go now to the Desmos activity, which is going to review different types of triangles. So let's begin. Let's sign in with Google and let's go. Okay. So remember what I just talked about? What type of triangle is this? Is it equal angular? Are the angles equal? Are the sides equal? Is it acute? Okay. One thing I did not mention is how many degrees a triangle makes, which we'll talk about. And when you think about a line, let me just tell you real quick, okay? If you think about a line is 180 degrees, right? So if we have three lines together, what ends up happening is that all of the angles, there's three angles in a triangle, there's three sides, that they all end up adding up to 180 degrees. So in this particular case, if we took 180, divided it by 3, we would get that this triangle is 60, 60, 60. Okay. 60 times 3 is 180. So is it equal angular, or are the angles equal? What do you think? Yes. Yes. Is it equilateral? You see these little sides right here that says this side is equivalent or the same length as this side as this side? Yes, they're equilateral. Now, let me ask you a question. Is a 60-degree angle, is it less than 90? Yes. So is this an acute triangle too? Are all the angles acute in it? Yes, it is all three. Okay. Next. What type of triangle is this, and how do you know? Look at that. Look at this. I'm giving it away for you, like right here. Come on, people. I'm saying, look at this angle. This angle is how many degrees? It's 90. So there is a right angle. So this is a right triangle. Now there's only one angle that is going to be 90 degrees, and it's going to be this corner of a box right here. Okay. What type of triangle is this? And it says circle the obtuse angle in this triangle. So again, we're going to use, let me move myself over here. We're going to use this line tool or the drawing tool. Obtuse angle is greater than 90. Okay, greater than 90. Do we have an angle that's greater than 90? I see one. It's 110, right? Boom, we circled it. So what type of triangle is this? If there's one obtuse angle, that means that this is an obtuse triangle. Oops. Because one of the angles is greater than 90 degrees. With me now? Okay. For the next one. Circle all of the isosceles triangles. Hint, isosceles triangles have two equal sides. I'm going to go ahead and draw one, okay? Isosceles means you have two sides. I know that doesn't look perfect, but it is what it is, okay? Two sides are equal, okay? So in that case, let me go ahead and get my drawing tool. Does this look isosceles to you? To me, it looks like all the three sides are different. So that looks scalene to me. Does this one look like it has two equal sides? Does it look like it does? It is. This is isosceles. Does this one look very much like this one? Yes. This is isosceles, two equal sides. This one's isosceles. What's this one? Is that isosceles? No. Sometimes a right triangle can be isosceles, but it's not. All of these have different sides. What about this one? This one's interesting because you have like all these three sides are equal. So, okay. But does it have two sides that are also equal? Yes. So in that case, even though it's equilateral, it's also isosceles. Oops, I want to do this. Okay? So 4 of those are. Awesome. Next, use a sketch pad. Let's look at the scalene triangles. Hint, a scalene triangle has 3 different sides. Okay, so we already know that like that's isosceles, that's isosceles, that's isosceles, also equilateral, that's isosceles. So the scalene ones are going to be here, 3 different sides. That one looks scalene right here, 3 different sides. This one also looks scalene, don't you think? Like, don't those sides look like they have 3 different lengths? To me, they do. That looks like maybe it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Maybe as a right triangle, all the sides are different. Okay. Okay. Next, classify this triangle. What type of triangle is this? And you explain why. Okay. Remember, I just drew this one, right? It has 2 equal sides. What is it called? It's called isosceles. Okay. When you explain your thinking, an isosceles triangle has 2 equal sides and 2 equal, what are these? What are B and C called? They're called angles. Okay. And the angles, you'll notice that the angles are opposite of the sides, right? So like this side, this angle's opposite of this side, and this angle's opposite of this side. Okay, 2 equal sides, 2 equal angles. That's an isosceles triangle. Yay. Next. Okay, in this isosceles triangle, which sides are equal and which angles are equal? Okay, so you have 2 equal sides, 2 equal angles. So just like the picture before, let's go ahead and get the drawing tool. Okay, this is side AB. It looks, if I measured it with a ruler, we could prove it, but it looks equal to BC. Okay. Now the side that is, the angle that is opposite would be angle A. The angle that is opposite of AB is angle C. Boom. So those are the congruency marks. Angles, you make that little half circle, and then with congruent, which means equal sides, you make a little line. Okay, classify this triangle. What type of triangle is this? So you see this triangle here. It has some interesting congruency marks. If you look at the sides, it has a little 1, and then 2 hash marks, 2, and then how many do you see? 3. And then when you look at the angles, same idea, right? You have 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So if it has 3 different lengths of the sides and 3 different lengths of the angles, we actually call this a scalene triangle. It's scalene. The reason why, let me use the sentence starters. This is a scalene triangle because it has 3 different lengths of sides and 3 different measured angles. Okay, it's 3 different measurements. Okay, and one of them looks like it might be obtuse. Okay, this one right here looks greater than 90. Okay, here we go. What is the sum of the 3 degrees in a triangle? So I gave you an equal angular, all the angles are equal, triangle. 60, 60, 60. Can you add those angles together? What is 60 plus 60 plus 60? Let's go ahead and write it. 60 plus 60 plus 60 equals 180. So all triangles have a sum of 180 degrees. All of them do. Now, if you have a missing angle, you can just keep this open. If you have a missing angle, how would you figure out what that is? Well, if I know that all angles in a triangle equal 180, okay, then wouldn't you say that 53 degrees plus 67 degrees plus x equals 180? Right? We don't know that third angle, but we know basically if we added 53 and 67 and then we subtracted that from 180, we would get x. So really, you could say add the 2 angles given and subtract from 180. Okay. And it doesn't actually ask me to find what x is, but we can find it. All you need is a calculator. So I just need to remember 53 and 67, right? Okay, I'm going to do my online calculator here. Here we go. Boom. 53 plus 67. Is that correct? 53 plus 6. Let me look back. Let me look back. That's it. Okay. That's 120. Okay, that's pretty easy. So if that is 120, I'm saying 120 plus something equals 180. So now we need to just subtract 120 from both sides. Okay. And what do we get when we do that? What do we get that x equals? X equals 60 degrees. Okay, 60 degrees. Nice. We got one more. What's the missing angle? So I've just explained. Add the 2 angles that are given. Subtract from what? 180. Okay. So I'm going to take, just like we talked about, 82 plus 55 plus x equals 180. That's how to set up the equation. Okay. But if I want 82 plus 55, I want to know what that is. 82 plus 55. It's going to be 137. Now, let me go back. So 137 plus x, we still don't know what it is, equals 180. If I just take 180 and I subtract 137 from it, I'm going to do that real quick because I'm subtracting 137 from both sides in my head, okay? 180 minus 137. Oh, wait, hold on. You can do it like this. 180 minus the answer. Oh, I like that. 137. Boom. It's 43 degrees. I love it. Okay. So the answer is 43 degrees, which looks correct because that looks like an acute angle, doesn't it? Less than 90. Okay. I hope this was helpful for you. This is worth 10 points. So make sure you do it. Have a great week.